Hey, good day to all of our awesome JubiRev JubiMax family members. T. Lamont Silver Sr. here. This is an extremely important video, so please make sure that you watch it all and that you also distribute it to all of your teammates. Last night we did a training webinar for our team, and of course we talked about the compensation. We talked about the 25% matches, all of those things. I mean, absolutely amazing compensation, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be phenomenal. The fact that people are going to be able to make the upfront bonus monies as well as build a phenomenal residual income stream and really use leverage with both. Leverage getting to the max team and then becoming a max team leader. Just absolutely leverage there. 25% matching bonuses on everyone in your max team. That is huge. That's bigger than huge. And then when you also consider in the unilevel with the residual, the matches on the 5th and the 6th and the 7th and 8th level, absolutely massive. Now, with all of that said, one of the things that we are now turning our attention to is making sure that not only you, but then your following are developing the skill sets so that you can build a large following yourself and funnel that following into Jubi. And here's the bottom line, ladies and gentlemen. I have said that it is my faith, number one, my family, number two, my following, that's you, all right, and then the company is fourth. Now, you know I love Jubi. You know that, okay? So here's what we're going to start to shift on. What we're going to start to shift on is making sure that we provide an environment so that all of our teammates can begin learning key marketing concepts that you can apply in your business. Yes, your Jubi business, whatever you're doing, because here's the thing that I want to make sure that happens, okay? I want to make sure that you are empowered, You know, as I, over these last few weeks, obviously, there's been modifications that companies had to make, but it's also allowed me to kind of step back and begin to reevaluate not only my business, but, you know, my business is so much linked to you. Because, again, I don't have a business if I don't have a following. Jubi, with the phenomenal compensation plan that's coming, that means nothing to me if I don't have a following or if I can't generate a new following. And so as I stepped back and I said, okay, what have I done in this industry to be successful? Why have I been successful and maybe others haven't? Now, obviously, I've got tremendous persistence. I've got determination. But you know what? There's a lot of people that haven't risen to the types of incomes that we've seen in this industry that are persistent. There's a lot of people that are determined. So what's the difference? And then I started, as I backed up and I started reevaluating how we move forward, and I started looking at other leaders that are also have been very financially successful. Some just as, some even more so than me. And I started noticing that there was a common thread between all of those folks. Is one, they had a following. So if there was ever a situation where they had to back up and punt, if there was ever a situation where the company left them, you know, let's say a company shuts down in the U.S. We've seen that happen, and I saw leaders that were with that company that when that happened, you know, they landed somewhere else, and guess what? They had a following that went right with them. I've seen companies like Excel that did phenomenally well. You know, I believe it was the first company at that time in the direct sales industry. It was the fastest to $1 billion in sales, so I am told. And I remember when Excel, the owner, sold the business, and everything changed. everything changed, and ultimately the company filed bankruptcy, I believe it was, and kind of went out of business. Okay, so when that happened, people's incomes stopped. Yet, there were certain folks that when they found a new home, they had a following that came with them. And you've heard the stories, you've seen the stories of people that come into a new enterprise or they come into a company and they immediately jump up to the top of the leaderboards. Why? Because they have a following. So, as I begin to reevaluate, okay, what our focus needs to be going forward is on teaching folks how to build their following, how to build what is often referred to as your tribe, where people want to do business with you. Because people do business with people they like, respect, and trust. So now, how do we help you start building your following? And that's when it started to hit that, okay, we're going to go back. When we first got started online, we designed a portal called Global Internet Formula. And so when we started online, the whole idea was, at the time, we didn't even have anything really to promote. And what we were doing is we were bringing on mentors. We were bringing on trainers that would train in certain areas of marketing and even did some mindset training. Had a phenomenal gentleman who would come and do some mindset training. Now, when we stumbled upon the revenue sharing world, because the revenue sharing world was such a different world, and you didn't necessarily have to recruit or sponsor to generate money, we kind of got away from what our original intent was. Our original intent was to empower our following with the marketing skill sets, to really lay out for our following a buffet of marketing methods that were working. So, for instance, maybe you had someone with Facebook. I can tell you right now, one of our teammates is leveraging Facebook. And what he told me 2 days ago, he says, I can't handle all the leads I'm getting from Facebook. He has a method. He has a method. All right. And if if he does 1, 2, and 3, he gets leads. He gets people coming to him. He's developing a what? Say it with me. A following. He's developing a following. Okay. Now, because he's developing a following and he's bringing value to that following, now he's having people saying to him, hey, what are you doing? What business are you in? And that's helping him introduce people to Jubi, all right, because he's developing a following. And then I noticed, for instance, there's another buddy of mine who combines some Facebook marketing to develop a following along with Skype. So he's using Facebook and Skype and has developed a large following in both Facebook and Skype. So I start thinking, oh, you know what? What we need to do is go back to what the original intent was when we came online, which was to introduce people to a number of different marketing methods so that people, it didn't matter what company they were in, they could come to our home, they could come to our portal, they could come to us and pick up some marketing methods, begin to buffet. So it's not every method that works, but find one or maybe find 2 methods that work for you and then work that method. That's how Queen Twitter became Queen Twitter. Years ago, I come online. I didn't know anything about building anything online. I'd done everything offline. Queen Twitter, she came with me. She had been with me for years. She's my first cousin. She had built things offline. I said, Queen, listen, we got to learn this internet thing. And my focus was learning some things about YouTube. And I knew I couldn't learn about YouTube and then be in a position where I could teach people about YouTube and then learn Twitter at the same time, and then learn Facebook. And I was like, man, okay, look, okay, I tell you what, I'm gonna focus on YouTube. All right, let me focus on YouTube, and you pick your vehicle of choice in terms of social media. So she chose Twitter. All right, and so now she's gotten tremendous results with Twitter, and as a matter of fact, she's now known as Queen Twitter. Okay, a lot of people didn't even know her name; they just know her as Queen Twitter, or they know her as Queen, and people have sought her out because they heard that she was Queen Twitter, or she, got this marketing method and became extremely skilled in that marketing method. So here's what we're going to do. Now, this is going to take some time, so I need you to bear with me. But what we're going to do ultimately is we're going to have a portal, and we're going to develop a system so that people are introduced to connecting with mentors. People are introduced to different methods of marketing. So even if they are marketing other businesses right now, because here's the thing we've got to understand, 90+% of the folks that are marketing a home business enterprise, whether they're doing it primarily online or they're doing it primarily offline, 90+% of those folks are not making money. Now, I want you to hear this now. 90% of those or more are not making money. Now, one of my mentors taught me that if you can find a problem, find a challenge, and then offer a solution to that problem or challenge, you can get, this is what he said, rich. And so what he was all about was finding solutions to problems. If he could find a solution to a problem, he knew that that would make him wealthy, and he's a multimillionaire. Okay, so here's a problem. The problem is you've got 90% or plus of the marketing population, online and offline, that are not making money. Problem. So now, if we can provide a solution, if we can provide a place where people can start to learn some marketing skill sets to build their following. You won't make any money in this industry without a following. So they can start building their list. They can start communicating with their list, start building a bond with their list, provide value to their list. Now, you might be saying, well, T. Lamont, I don't know enough about marketing to be able to provide value. Well, this is where systems are going to come into place. Now, this will not be a small order. This will take some time for us to develop all of this, because ultimately what we want to do is we want to be able to reach out to this trainer over here, all right, who's actually getting results, not just teaching theory, but this trainer over here that's getting results in a particular marketing method, and then have them to develop a marketing course, all right? And when I say marketing course, I don't want this to be something, now I may pay them to do that. I don't want this to be something that people are having to pay for, all right? Let me say this again. I may pay them to develop this training series. I don't want you to have to go out and buy a $1,000 course. See, what's going to wind up happening is, so we'll go over here to this person here as an example, and they do a course on Facebook, all right, what they're doing. And I mean even to the point where maybe they're showing some screenshots. Maybe they're even taking us by video. Maybe they're taking us and actually showing us what they do in Facebook. So oh my gosh, okay, I can duplicate that. That's the peak. That's the key. I can duplicate that one. I can do that. I can do that. Oh, okay. And so maybe it's Facebook. Same thing with Twitter. So what I want to do is get this training on video so that we can then do a campaign where we're leading in with how we're going to assist you, since 90% of the people that's marketing are not making money. how we're going to assist them in making money, how we're going to assist them in developing a following, how we're going to assist them in providing value to that following, so that following comes back to them and says, hey, what are you doing? And oh, here, by the way, we'll develop these various courses, if you will. All right, we'll develop these various courses, and we'll offer them for, a high ticket item, or you can get this training for free. You can get this system for free if you come and join with one of our vehicles. Let me say this again, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to build tremendous value in offering marketing training, offering mentorship, because, again, a big part of the issue that people have in this industry is, especially if they're doing anything online, is who can I trust? Who's really real? Now, I hope you have seen, if you haven't followed us for any extended period of time, many of you have, I hope you have seen that we are real. Because when a company that we were promoting called Zeke Rewards, when it abruptly got closed down on, I think it was August 17th of 2012, either the 16th. Let me go see, make sure. It was on Friday, August the 17th. We didn't cower. We didn't run. We heard about the fact that the authorities had come in, and we had a webinar that same night, about an hour and a half, 2 hours later after we heard it. That's leadership. And then when we planted our flag with another company, once again, I had to reevaluate. I said, well, what allowed us to quickly become the top leader with that company? Because we had a following. Oh, you know what? That's what I need to focus on, making sure we teach people how to develop that following. So even though that company on August 17th went away, we had a following, so that when we made our decision as to what our next move was, that following came with us. And immediately we were in a position where, again, we were able to generate some really good money. When we saw that there were some challenges with that particular company, and I flew out to meet with the owners, and I was unimpressed, to say the least, with things that were happening, and just didn't feel like that they were going in the right direction. That's when we went to our following after a period of time when we saw that they didn't get things right, and we said, hey, we're going to do a plan B, and plan B obviously became Jubi. And guess what? So when Jubi opened the doors, guess what? We had a following. And so I started thinking, you know what? I've got to make sure that we teach people how to develop their following. And in teaching folks how to develop their following, let's focus on the larger problem. The larger problem is 90% or more of the people in this industry are not making money. They're looking for people that they can trust. They're looking for marketing methods. All right. If you've got a good warm market, great. If you've got influence with your warm market, leverage it. That's not going to be a lot. That's not going to be everybody. Okay. So if you don't have a large warm market or an influential warm market where your warm market will listen to you, then you've got to find other ways to develop a following. And so that's what we're going to be focusing on, connecting with some leaders that are already a part of our following. Let's say like a Queen Twitter, like King Facebook, Koi Crab, like my buddy Paul, that are doing maybe some sweat equity things to develop their following, Facebook, Skype, so on and so forth, as well as even reaching outside of Jubi and connecting with some leaders that are extremely skilled in certain marketing skill sets. So again, here is, and thank you for taking time to watch this video, here is the grand plan. It's going to take some time to get all of the pieces together, all right? And I'm going to tell you that during this time period that I'm going to be spending as much time I still have some things to do, some videos for the company, and so on and so forth. But my thing is, if we can address the 90% that are not making money, and we can show them that, hey, if you come with us, you're going to learn these skill sets, and it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg to learn it. And as a matter of fact, what you could do is you could simply pay for our system, and we'll put such value in there that we could price it out at $2,000 or $3,000 or $5,000. Or you could actually join with us. You got that? You got that? All right. If you join me, $549. If you join me, $1,250. Now you get access to these trainings. You get access to this information that you can use to build whatever business you're wanting to build. And the $549 and the $1,250 became a way for you and me to monetize the fact that they want to learn all these things, and hopefully they actually then start building with us, because what we're going to do is develop a system around all of this so that they can use the same system to make some money, and as they use the same system, they'll be building Jubi. But we won't necessarily just lead in. Now, we'll still have Jubi webinars. I'll still do Jubi corporate webinars. We may very well have our own Jubi webinars as a team, so on and so forth, with a different slant on it, because the slant that I believe will be phenomenal and will empower you is the slant of joining our team. What I've been doing, I've been studying a marketing buddy of mine. And I say buddy because, I wouldn't call him a friend. I don't, I've done some business with him in the past. And I've been studying some things that he's been doing, building his following. And it's been masterful. It's been absolutely masterful. There's nothing new under the sun. And I started thinking, you know what? We can do this for our Jubi following. So I'm studying that, and that's why I'm saying it's going to take some time, because I'm continuing to study what's happening there so that we can put our system together. So at the end of the day, this is what's going to wind up happening. What's going to wind up happening is we're going to have a system where people are going to be attracted because they're going to start to get what they've wanted. And that is, how do I do this thing in a way that it doesn't cost me an arm and a leg? My first YouTube training online was $1,000 for a 6-week course, and it was worth every single penny. But it was so fast-paced, it wasn't recorded, so I had to be on the live webinars. I do think that they provided a back office where they record, but they didn't load up the recordings in a timely fashion. So then they did another course. All right, that was another $1,000. So there was $2,000 that I spent, worth every single penny. I promise you, it was worth every single penny. But there was $2,000 that I had outlaid for that YouTube training, and there was no opportunity attached to that. So it wasn't like I could then market that same course as an example, and as an affiliate, and get some money and make some money and what have you. So as we do this, what we'll do is we're going to be aiming at the 90%ers. We're going to show you how to build a following. When I say we, this is going to be a global leadership effort. It's going to be someone over here that's really good with Facebook and Skype doing some training. And again, my goal is to have it down in video format so that people can just go at their leisure as they come into our system and watch the training and apply the training. Watch the training and apply the training. Watch the training and apply the training to start to get results. And because you are the one that introduced them to all of this, you now become extremely valuable to them. You offer tremendous value to them so that then they want to do whatever it is you're doing. Jubi, ABC, DEF, so on and so forth. So with that being the case, we love each and every one of you. Let's change the world together starting with yours. Don't you dare go anywhere. All right. Give us some time. Be patient with the company as they launch forth. All right. And listen, you do what you know to do until these systems are in place. It's going to take several weeks to get all of this up in place. Okay. And it's still going to be a work in progress because we may, when we launch this system, we may launch the system with, one or two training modules, and then another, maybe a third training module comes into play, so on and so forth. So with that being said, we love each and every one of you. Let's change the world together, starting with yours.